Welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk about the redefinition of an attractive woman's sexuality. So one of the most common forms of social sabotage that attractive women face is the way others, both men and average looking women, try to redefine their sexuality. Instead of allowing beauty and sensuality to exist as a natural expression of who someone is, society often twists it into a weapon of shame, judgment, or resentment. This isn't just an adult issue. It often begins in adolescence, shaping the way young women see themselves in spaces where they should have felt free to simply grow into their identity. So I experienced this firsthand in middle school and high school. I had a confident, flamboyant walk, and sometimes it's described as bouncy. And without even saying a word, people begin to create stories about me. Women assume I was overly sexual simply because of the way I carried myself. At 15, that is when I begin to notice what I call beauty warfare. So there were times where my friends' moms didn't want them hanging around me because they thought that I was hoish at 15. One time, my friend invited me into her house, and her mom was like, you need to make her go home because she looked too grown. Like basically saying I looked too hoish. And there was a time where my friend that lived around the corner from me, her mom seen me coming down the street, and then she told my friend, she was like, she looked grown. And it wasn't just about looks, it was about how beauty combined with confidence and sensuality creates a presence that others feel. So I think sensuality is literally just grace. People have deemed it as hypersexuality because we see women in music videos with a grace, using it in the wrong way. So I remember when the movie ATL premiered, the theater was packed with women, and when I walked in, I could feel the room shift. Women looked me up and down, scowled, and even threw quick glances at their boyfriends, and they were silently saying to their boyfriends, like, told them in their ear, no, she's not it. And the truth is, the very fact that they were shaken by my presence showed that they noticed the effect sensuality has when it enters a space. This was also why I didn't get hired for some interviews, because sensuality could come off sexual. You know, it makes a woman presence more, how do you say it? Like loud. And so some women get really offended by that, and they think, oh no, that's a problem. So when a woman carries herself with grace, poise, and natural allure, the atmosphere changes. Most women hate that. They think it's distracting. It's uncomfortable to be a woman whose sensuality is in it, because you don't have to dress provocatively. You don't have to flirt and eyes gravitate towards you, making you desirable. So a lot of women want that desirability. They want to walk in a room and they want a man to automatically see them and just be like, oh my God, like I want her. And a lot of girls don't have that desirability. Instead of accepting that attraction is just a natural thing, many women will respond in anger and resentment because they hate that a woman can come into an environment being naturally magnetic. This became especially obvious when I'd enter group settings. So there were times where I'd meet girls and I wouldn't meet them when I'm dressed up. Like, it's funny because when girls meet me when I'm not dressed up and they're like, hey, come to the gathering, like, let's be friends. And I'm like, I don't think you want to be friends with me because I am that bitch. I am that girl when I walk in the room. So this is also why I stopped going to gatherings unless I know who's there. So whenever I entered a gathering with a woman and a man, the most attractive man was there mingling. all of a sudden when I'd enter the room, suddenly his attention would shift towards me. And women hate that. Like, it would be so weird because for me, when I see a man stare at another woman, it don't bother me. I'm not about to go and walk around the whole corner to watch what he say to her. It don't bother me. But when the man that they all liked would suddenly shift his attention toward me, or he'd get up and come towards me, the girls would like walk slowly to watch what we talking about. That's very rude. That's very rude. And so even sometimes, like, if I go in a room and a guy immediately gives me attention because he thinks that my sensuality is magnetic, girls would come into the conversation. Like, we're not going to be left out either. And even though they can hear in his tone that he's romanticizing me, even though they can hear his tone change up, because like he's flattered by my presence, they will still stand there. And I'm like, girl, like, go away. Like, why are you surrounding us? The attention is on me. It's not you. And you can't change that. You can't change what someone was physically born with. So it was not something I asked for. It was simply a magneticness I carry. But to other women, when they seen how a man shifted his attention to me, it was interpreted as hypersexuality. So they automatically think y'all talking about sex. And the average girls are so dumb. They're like that, like, oh, they're talking about sex. They're talking about getting their freak on. Like, no, why would we just all of a sudden meet each other? We barely know each other and we talking about sex. And so they punished me for it. And so I was labeled, excluded, and even uninvited to gatherings. And men by nature are drawn to women who match them in sensuality. It's very rare for a man to meet a woman who matches them in sensuality. That's why a lot of times, which I'm not even trying to sound I'm not trying to sound like trannies, right? Trannies, when you see how they walk, they're very sensual. Like, most women do not walk like trannies, and that is the type of sensuality that men want, because men are hypersexual creatures. Men, when they look at a woman, they want to desire them. And so that attraction can spark jealousy, because average looking women often can't process like why they can't process it because they don't have it. Instead of admitting that another woman has natural magnetism they don't possess, they want to rewrite that attractive woman's character. So they'll call her a slut, a hoe, or claim she is always showing her body. Whether or not that's true, these accusations aren't rooted in reality. They're defense mechanisms. And it's really sad because I used to watch guys with girlfriends allow their girlfriends to go on like that. And I'm like, you need to really check her character, because that's really ugly for a woman to be grown and be like, yep, she's slutty, she's a hoe, she's nasty, like, grow up. Like, that's really weird. So oftentimes when women feel overlooked, they comfort themselves by degrading women who receive the attention they wish they desire. And this is also why I don't be around average women no more. I don't feel the need to be around them. Like, I'm done with average people. The only time I'm gonna be around average people is when I go to work, school, or I gotta go to the grocery store or anything like that. But I'm done. This year I'm done with average people. Average looking people are just draining. But the tragedy is that this dynamic doesn't just harm the woman being redefined, but it also harms the woman doing the redefining. It keeps them locked in comparison, bitterness, and envy. And instead of celebrating their own unique qualities, they're hyper focused on the woman that has the presence they desire. And since the woman is so centered at that point, She's forced to wrestle with isolation, misunderstanding, and misplaced hostility for something she never chose but was simply born with. So again, situations like this can force an attractive woman into isolation, because it's like no matter what room she goes in, average women, which average women are more common than beautiful, gorgeous women, they're always going to they're always going to redefine her through their accusations. They're always going to do that. The bigger lesson is this: beauty and sensuality do not need to be redefined by outside voices. An attractive woman's sexuality belongs to her, not to the projections or insecurities of others. Confidence and allure should not be mistaken for promiscuity, nor should natural sensuality be treated as a threat. Society must learn to let women be who they are without rewriting their identity to make others feel comfortable.
I can't pretend I'm feeling like letting you love me.